What does the schedule look like of $1 million gyms? What does the schedule look like? What is the schedule for success when it comes to being successful in sales? Well, Jimmy and I are going to run through what a successful day looks like when it comes to sales.
Yep. And it's not coming from, Tom, Dick, or Harry agency guy who's never run a gym and never gotten to this point, right? Anthony and I have gotten to a point where I have one gym that's self-sufficient that operates on its own, one gym that just opened. Anthony has two gyms that operate self-sufficient on their own and has actually trained other people to take care of this. So the daily habits of $1 million gym owner are going to be different than what we're going to talk about today, because $1 million gym owner does totally different things, but they had to do these things to get there, and somebody else is doing it in their business. So I'll let Anthony take the first one. What's the first one, man?
First one is you got to make your bed in the morning. That's the other thing that this list is not going to be one of those lists, when these people have these crazy morning rituals and they have to jump in ice baths and they have to do all these stupid, crazy things to get moving in the morning. And it's like, no, that's not what you have to do. You just got to get to work. That's plain and simple. I've never had a morning routine. I've never had any type of structured morning thing that I need to do to get productive. And I just think that that's a waste of time. Even before, this might sound like it's been repeated, what I'm saying right now, because a lot of people have said this recently, but I've been saying this for years. I'm not, 15 years old online talking to you guys right now. I'm 36 years old. I've been around the block a bunch of times. I never had a morning routine like that. So anyway, neither here nor there. It's not going to include any of that shit. So first things first is when you get into the office or whatever, the first thing you need to do is you need to go through call reviews. What does that mean? You're going to pick up the phone and listen to, or whatever, listen to on the computer, whatever. You're going to listen to one of your sales calls from the prior day, a successful one preferably. And you're going to go through it and you're going to listen to it. And you're going to take notes. What did I say right? What did I say wrong? What should I have done better here? You're going to analyze your call, and you're going to use this to kind of dust the rust off from not doing calls the next day. It'll help you to pick up and speed up a little bit faster.
Yeah. You have to make that blocked out time in your day so you don't forget it and you don't sleep on it. So we have to have a scheduled time that is, this is the time that I'm doing call reviews. If you're in a position where you're managing other people, review their calls and give them feedback. But if you're in a position where you are the person making the phone calls to new leads, you have to review those calls and figure out what it is that you said, or your cadence, your tone, your specific language that got that person over the line. Okay. You have to review them, because that's how you get better. Just like you review everything else in your life, just like in school, you had somebody proofread and review your documents that you put together, your papers. Just like in training, you review your training model, you review what results these people get from the training you're putting them through. It's the same thing over and over. It's how it works. It's quintessentially human.
Exactly. Now, from that, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to follow up with leads that are in the pipeline. That's usually the first thing that I do in that case. I'll listen to one of my calls or someone else's calls, take my notes, go through it. The next thing I'll do is I'll go through follow-up. Who needs to be followed up with from the last day, the previous week, whatever? Like, what's on my schedule for today? Kind of like doing a schedule review, and who do I need to follow up with from a prior day? Because typically some people you have to follow up with them, you have to try to get in touch with them. So that's the first thing I want to do. I want to knock out any previous day's follow-up that needs to be done. Do that all right away. So this way you can go into the next couple of things free and clear. So first thing is your call review. Then you're going to go into follow-up. Look at your pipeline. Who do I have to follow up with? Who's an old lead that I need to contact today?
Right. Old leads, appointments that didn't close, things of that nature, or people in the pipeline that you're in communication with. Review all of those and see who needs to still be followed up with, because people fall through the cracks. So you have a structured time and a structured setup where your goal is, okay, who is in communication right now and how do I push them down the line to get them to the next step? You'll have leads in the pipeline that have texted you back. You've called them. They said, call me back this time, whatever. You want to do those first because those are warmer leads. In addition to those people that did not close from an appointment, follow up with them again because they're not necessarily saying no, they're just saying not right now. So there may be a better time to get in touch with them, go through those people, then we're moving on to our next step.
Yeah. The next thing that we would do from here is what we've, I don't know if we coined this. I just always heard you say it and I stole it from you. So I don't know if you coined this or where we got this from, but the next thing is the power hour. So we call it a power hour. So basically you're going to go through all the leads that came in and you're just going to pick up and dial. You're going to do it for an hour. You're going to set a timer for an hour. You're going to keep a piece of paper next to you and you're going to dial, make a line, dial, make a line, dial, make a line. And your goal is to get through as many calls as you can during that time. Listen, look, in that hour, you may talk to 5 people. Like you may actually physically talk to people on the phone and they're like 15 minutes each. So that might be all you do, but that would be a productive hour in that case. But you're just going to set aside time on your calendar to do a power hour and just dial.
I think power hour was I originally heard it, just as a side note for some entertainment for you guys. I originally heard it in college where it was like you were supposed to like drink a certain amount in this hour of time, right? And it was some like you had to drink a beer. It was like how many beers could you get in an hour or something? And since those days are over in my life, I adapted it for sales activity. So that's kind of the long and short of where that comes from originally, but we use it in our business. So yeah.
And do you have any parameters set around the power hour? Anything else that I haven't explained?
No, it's just you have to set the timer, get rid of all distractions. So the problem is you start a power hour and you have people distracting you around you. Like if you do it in the office of your facility where people are coming in and out, or you do it somewhere that's busy, or your kids are going crazy in your house, your dogs are barking, whatever it is, you have to put yourself in a mindset and in a place where you have no distractions so you can focus on that one task and continue to just dial next one, boom, 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 boom. Because if you don't, then things are going to easily pull you off track. So it's like, okay, you dial one person and then you open up Instagram, or you dial one person, somebody texts you and you respond to them. You dial one person and a client comes into the office and has a question. You dial one person and one of your staff members has a question for you. Like it's something that you have to let everybody know that right now you are not available.
Yeah, this is where it's really good to, if you put like a sign on the door, if you have an office door, you close the office door, put a sign on the door, do not bother me, leave me alone. Like literally write something on, we'll be free after X time, because you don't want any distraction. You want to shut off Instagram, put your phone on well, you can't put your phone in airplane mode, but you get the idea, right? Like if you're dialing from a landline, then you could put your phone in airplane mode, but that's the point, right? Is you want to just be, the goal is just to make as many calls as possible. Just go, 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 go. Work through your lead list and just go, go, go. So the next thing is you're going to do sales calls. So, I mean, again, if you had some sales calls booked, obviously you would probably sprinkle this in here and there out of the way. But you're going to basically have your sales calls scheduled for the day. So you're going to be picking up the phone and dialing those people who had scheduled a call, or people that you were supposed to call at that time. You're going to be doing your scheduled calls here. Maybe you have assessments where you're trying to close them. All this stuff is kind of booked in the middle here. Again, just give or take somebody's schedule. But this is where you're actually doing closing activities,
which typically happens toward the peak times for new client appointments are typically in the evening. So these other things will happen in kind of the mid-morning time, right? Maybe you get started around 10 and then you're like, okay, you have your follow-up text messages, you have your power hour, you have your scheduled dials, and then you have your meetings. And then once you get through these scheduled things, I believe there's one more thing, right, Anthony, that you guys do that has been impactful for your business after all these other tasks are done.
Yeah, well, the next thing that you would do in this case, so after you go through your sales calls for the day, you would go through another call review. So now you're going to listen to calls from this day. Just pick one or two, whatever. You're going to listen to one, and you're going to go through it again. The reason why we have you going through it again is because what did you pick up from the day before? What did you do today? Where were you off today? you want to identify basically where you were off. And that's why it's important to do it again, because you want to see, okay, what did I do? What did I miss today? Like, I could have closed here. What did I do there? And you kind of want to do that review. Then once you do that review, I like to do another power hour in this case. And like Jimmy said, again, give or take the schedule, but we usually like to do a power hour in the morning or afternoonish, and then at night. So a power hour between two. So again, you're going to review your last calls for before that, and then you're going to go through a power hour again. So boom, 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 pick up the phone, dial, keep track, dial, keep track, dial, keep track. And you're going to do that again. Then how we end the day has been really successful for us is we go through a reactivation thing. So we have a set number. So let's just say in this case, it's 10. You're going to text or call 10 old clients and just kind of say hello. And again, it's a reactivation. And we like to end the day with that because we know those people, they're warm leads, and it's just a good way to just kind of build rapport. And then again, this way you have stuff to work toward tomorrow. So then when you come in tomorrow, maybe some of those reactivations message you back. Maybe some of them want to get started again. So you got to go through that process earlier in the morning. So that's where you that kind of follow up in the pipeline. You kind of fill that bucket. So that's what we do at the end of the day. We try to get at least, again, it doesn't have to necessarily be at the end of the day, but this is like an ideal perfect world scenario here of a structured day, which we know being in this environment, you never know, because if someone calls you at 3:00 wanting to sign up, you're going to drop everything to sign them up, and the same thing if they want to sign up at 5:00 at night, same thing.
Yeah. The same rules apply. Speed to lead, and that person that is interested and is warm is most important. So they trump these other things. But if you have your day set up this way, you can set yourself up for success because you're satisfying all of these tasks and all of these behaviors throughout your entire week, so that as you get momentum, you then become successful over time.
Can agree more. And if you guys want help on any of this, just click the links below and you can book a call with us. You can hop on the phone and learn more about what we do, how we can help your sales team and yourself go through your sales scripts, train on sales, train on objections, and make you sound and be a killer on the phone. And until next time, this is Anthony and Jimmy, Fitness Profit Multiplier. We are out.